What's up, people? Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Took a little bit of time to figure out StreamYard this morning, but we are live action. Uh, don't have my coffee yet, so we're really hoping that this intro video is going to take a bit longer this morning. Give me time to run around, grab the coffee, come back, and then we're live. So here we go. I'm gonna find it. I'm really good at StreamYard. We are live, everybody. Shit. Uh-oh. Should we just restart? Should we start this from the top? Um, hmm. Hmm. It's definitely in here. It's definitely in here. Uh-oh. This is bad news, guys. All right. We're gonna keep talking here while I try to find the intro. This is a bad start. This is why you make sure you get the coffee before the show starts. All right, we're gonna do this countdown here. Okay, here we go. We're live. What's up, people? Good morning. Let's hit it.
Well, the top side streets are a dangerous place, so you better tune in to a credible face like this one. Yeah, this one. And you know he's not alone, and they're coming in hot. We got a Lake so Stan and a guy who really likes baseball. I don't know why he likes baseball.
Woo! We are live action. 3 minutes in. Got the intro video going. For those of you who don't see behind the scenes here on the StreamYard, Mike's got about 87 videos. None of them really says like, hey, here's the intro. But we found it and we are good to go. We got a lot of people in the chat this morning talking a little football. We got Brent. We got We the People. We got Airplane Mode to the House. F and Nico 90s fan. Mike Zakarian, fresh off of marriage. Blaze Moore, Adam Stubbs, Chops, Devilard, Damon, Joseph, Artemis, Snoopaloop. I love that one. Thomas Welch, Regulator. What is up, people? What is up? Chewy. We got Chewy in the chat. He's a fellow West Coaster. He's up early with us. I like it. Rowdy Rod. Schnapper, Pack Drip. Okay. There we go. All right. So got through the intro there, and we're going to talk a little bit more football today. We are deep in the best ball streets right now on Underdog. We are, for me personally, I'm about a week away from needing to be done with all of my best ball needs, being able to service all my best ball needs. I'm heading out to Ireland. One of my buddies getting married in Ireland the last week of, or I guess it's the first week of September. I don't know. They're getting married September 1st, but we're heading out to Ireland for a week, August 25th through September 5th. And, the NFL season starts right after that. And so I'm assuming I'm not going to be able to do a lot of underdog drafts while I'm over in Ireland. I don't think the Wi-Fi is going to be great over there. So I've really been on a little bit of an expedited journey here, trying to get everything done. But I would like to say I think I'm on pace right now. My biggest goal was to try to get the Best Ball Mania maxed out this year, and we're about 5 drafts away from getting that done. One of them we'll see live this morning. And they're throwing a couple fun things at us lately. So we've got for those of you who are in the best ball streets here. Let me get the screen going here. We could talk through some of the new contests that we're seeing on Underdog. So yesterday there was a lot of hubbub about the Pomeranian, which is the $3 contest, nice little beginner contest. The biggest thing here is this 0% rake, which really gets the people going. Capped out at 15 entries a person. The one they posted yesterday at like 7 a.m. Pacific time was filled in about 3 hours, I think. 16,000 people filled in 3 hours. So that's pretty wild. This late last night, they did a new one, the Pomeranian, but super flex. That means you're starting 2 quarterbacks every week, or you have the ability to start 2 quarterbacks every week. And so yeah, that one should be a little bit. This one hasn't filled yet, but I mean it's at like 83%, so that thing's gonna fill in the morning as well. Probably it's probably gonna fill before you guys rewatch this video if you're not watching it live. So if you're in the Underdog streets, I would recommend getting in the Pomeranian here. 0 rake, you don't see that very often. If you're not in the Underdog streets, promo code JBB, get you signed up, get $100 matching bonus. So yeah, before we fully dive in, I think we should spend some time on the NFL all day streets. So let me switch over the screen here. We're still early. We're still early this morning. We're still getting everything going perfectly, but we're going to switch over the sheets here, get these going live. And I want to talk through the pack drops from last week. And this is my crazy spreadsheet for those who are subscribed to Momentum Labs. You'll see, this well. For those who are new, I'm going to walk you through it a little bit here. But let's start with the enshrinement pack. So this is our little enshrinement pack range here on the spreadsheets. These things actually came in a little bit higher than I was thinking. Anybody in the chat go for the enshrinement pack? You had to have a let me make this a little bit bigger here. You had to have a historical to your name in order to be eligible. But then the enshrinement packs were live action for anybody who wanted one. I personally did not go for the enshrinement. I didn't. This list of historical. I mean, I think my I wouldn't say hate, but I would say my dislike for historical moments is pretty well documented. I'm not a huge historical moment guy, and to top it off, the list here wasn't amazing. It's definitely not the greatest Hall of Fame class of all time here. So I did think it was cool that they did kind of a small drop here, only about whatever this is, 5,000 moments, getting everybody a rare and a legendary from the Hall of Fame class. But I don't know, it just didn't really tickle my fancy too much. Airplane Mode said they packed a Cliff Branch Lego. That's nice. I like that. But it seems like coming into the marketplace currently with these prices, it seems like a fairly risk-free bet that you made on this thing. It was about Tony Baselli, I guess, is our lowest guy out of the gates on the rares, and he's 63. So that's a $16 loss on your $79 pack. Not too bad, not too shabby. And obviously some upside here to be in the $500, $600, $800 range. Leroy Butler here with 1,100. I'm not sure why he's a little bit more propped up, especially since he already had a moment or two on the platform. But maybe, as we like to say in the Momentum Labs Discord, maybe some bored whales got got bored and started buying some Leroy Butler the other day, and that's why he's propped up. But yeah, I mean, when I was doing projections for this, I didn't think so. Right now, it's a $79 pack price. The EV is $130, so that's a pretty decent return there. I had it projected a little bit lower. I had it projected, I think, in like the 108, 110 range. I was thinking the rares would be more in the 50 to 60 range, and the legendaries would be more in the 500 to 700 range. So everything's coming in a little bit higher than normal. But yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to hear for airplane NFT guy, anybody who one of these. Are you holding on to the historicals kind of for potential for future challenges? Are you trying to sell this and get some more dapper for some more current players? What is your kind of stance right now? I know there was some talk about potential for challenges. I just think it was pretty clean the way they did 6 and 6, and 6 rare, 6 legendary. So I personally wasn't kind of baking in any challenge utility. NFL all day hasn't been big on the challenges immediately after pack drop. So yeah, I mean, Regular says he's keeping the Mills for Panthers team set. Okay, he's already thinking. He's thinking ahead for the team set. I like it. See if we get some sort of, I guess it wouldn't be called TSS, it would be called ADS over on. So that could be interesting. We'll see if we get some team checklists. Seems like that's quite a ways away. All right, and then we're gonna drop down to the rewind packs, which is we got this column over here. So starting with the legendaries, I mean, pretty good spread on the legendaries. For whatever reason, the rookies always, even if it's kind of like a rookie who's isn't the biggest name in a while, or the biggest name, Gregory Rousseau. He's always gonna be holding a little bit more gusto. So he's got 1,400. Everybody, Mark Andrews, Cooper, Fournette, 1,100. Legendaries are just kind of weird right now. They're I think they're in an interesting phase. We'll see what happens throughout the season, but we see on Top Shot they don't do there isn't a ton of utility for legendaries, right? There's people that are buying them to complete some of the challenges for legendaries. We haven't really seen we've seen one legendary challenge so far, and it just kind of got you a pack with another legendary. So yeah, I'm a little bit interested to see what happens what happens with legendaries on all day, if there's going to be any utility. If not, are they going to hold their value as collectibles, or are they going to start kind of petering down throughout the season? Pretty big spread on the rares here. Justin Tucker came in way above expectation. He was screaming out of the gates. A lot of people buying the Justin Tucker 66-yarder. He's up to 219 here. Seahawks, for whatever reason, these damn team moments are just incredibly valuable on NFL all day. If anybody in the chat knows why, I have yet to figure that out. But everybody just buys the shit out of these team moments, team melts. I don't see a ton of collectible appeal to them, but hey, maybe some people do. Devontae Smith, rookie, 128. Chase Claypool, Chris Godwin, 60.95. So those are kind of the rares there. Then the low end is Jamal Agnew, Demario Davis, $43. So pretty widespread on the rares there. If you got a rare, hopefully you're in the Justin Tucker range here. And then of course we've got our comments. So starting off with the base set, we've got the two big winners in Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, $62, $44. And then we got Jonathan Taylor at $28. We do have a couple $3 moments: Melvin Gordon, DJ Chark, Jalen Reagor. Melvin Gordon just seems a little bit low off the top, and so does DJ Chark. I mean, a guy like Jalen Reagor is not really going to play a whole lot this year. I don't think he's projected to play too much, so that makes sense. He's $3. But, I mean, there's reports that Melvin Gordon's going to have a 60-40 split, 55-45 with Javonte at the beginning of the season. So $3 seems a little bit low there since this is his only common moment. And same with DJ Chark. I mean, Jameson Williams is going to be out at the beginning of the year. He's going to be the probably the pretty clear number 2 on Detroit. And I know there's some expectations for Detroit. And then $5 Chase Edmonds. I mean, same thing. He's going to get the nod to start in Miami, it looks like. They're bringing over God, I botched this guy's name last week. Whoever the new head coach is for Miami. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn it eventually. I just can't. He's the guy with the glasses. He'd be the run game coach for the Niners. Can't picture his name right now in my head. Like I said, working on the coffee. But Chase Edmonds going to be the lead back there, so $5 seems pretty low there. But yeah, if you got I was lucky enough to pack a Lamar, so I was pretty juiced. Borland says, "Are those numbers low ask? If so, Tucker's low ask with 2-3." Yeah, there we go. So Tucker keeps climbing. These are not dynamic pricing. This is from I think yesterday afternoon. I didn't get in there this morning to update it, but yeah. So Tucker's on the rise. Let's see what I missed here. Chop says he has the rare Butler holding for a potential challenge. Maybe not necessarily a historical challenge, but they could just randomly use these. Yeah, for sure. They could use some historicals. Zakarian, fresh off the wedding, is I think he's on his honeymoon watching Morning Marketplace. You gotta love that. Love that commitment. We think an open beta this week. Roham tweet plus pack drop Friday plus GM NFL. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's I think it'd be good. I am been, I guess on the record to say I don't know if there's a bunch of people banging on the doors of NFL all day to get in. It seems like everybody that's in right now is wanting to get in, but hey, maybe they're throwing the logo up on Good Morning Football. Maybe they're getting the word out there this week, starting to spread the news, and then that'll get people wanting to sign up. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy to me that there's $3, $5 moments, and people can't sign up right now. So how does the closed beta work? Is it that you can't get access to packs, or you can't create an account and buy moments? Maybe I need some clarification there. I thought it was maybe only pack drops, but if it's that you just can't even create an account at all, maybe that helps a little bit. Let's see. NFT guy said he was just gambling for a legendary, sold for 65. Regulators already grinding the efficiency streets on teams. Giants and Panthers are easiest to complete, like the Hornets and T-Wolves and TS. Airplane Mode says the Seahawks melt is boring. Not sure why people are buying it up for 320. NFT guy sold his for 320. I like that. Says I'm 100% out on any team set benefits in AD. I'll collect the moments of the team that I want, but I'm not chasing every RC rando defensive player and O-line. Yeah, that's the thing that's gonna get a little interesting here with NFL, right? So when the NBA got 15-player rosters, you can make an argument that 5 to 7 players on every team are decently well known, and have a little bit of staying power for people who are NBA fans. NFL team, it's a 53-man roster, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 65-ish guys that play on any given Sunday throughout the season. And you could make that it's still kind of the same 7 to 9 guys that are kind of household names on every NFL team. So a lot of room in the middle there to really have to bolster up these team sets. So yeah, there you go. Thomas says he's already thinking about burning, scooping any $3 moments for future burning or trade tickets. Okay, all right. I would caution a little bit against the trade tickets. I would say that the trade tickets were created solely to solve a problem that Top Shot had with oversupply, and it seems like NFL All Day is going to be going in the direction of trying to protect the collector a little bit and not that oversupply. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I wouldn't be extremely making some bets on trade tickets yet, in my opinion. So going down the list here, we've got who else we got? We got a couple non-base comments here. These obviously typically hold up a little bit more value. People like to collect some of these sets a little bit more. So we've got Gilmore, Myles Garrett, and Bosa, 3 pretty good defensive names. So those are all over $10. Myles Garrett at 14. Seems like Myles Garrett versus Bosa is pretty decent gap there. I would say Bosa's got just as much juice as Garrett does here. And then Hawkinson up at 12. Donovan Peoples-Jones, number 6. He's going to be the number 2 for the Browns this year. And then Tyler Lockett. Jury's out on the Seahawks. We'll see We'll see. I saw Drew Lock is in the starter seat. It seems like coming out of camp. So yeah, I mean we'll see what Big Cock Lock's got going for us this year, right? If he can keep DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett afloat for us in fantasy. So yeah, I think we've got a pretty good dub there for the rewind packs and the enshrinement. Just kind of heading over to the just a recap of the packs we've seen throughout this year for the standard packs. So obviously we've got the big week 14 outlier with the Brady debut. I think that one also had the Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, so that one's just loaded. So that week 14 packs are going to be the valuable ones to go after in the future. But then since then, everything's been pretty consistent here. Even though the price tags changed a little bit, the ROI has been all roughly the same, in the 60, 80, 90 range. So pretty good spread there. Everything's in the green on NFL all day. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay. I was a little bit smarter today, and I decided to jump in the Underdog draft earlier. That way we wouldn't have to kill some time while we're waiting on the draft to fill. And this bad boy filled right away, and we are in the 101. We got the Influencer 101, as Pete Overs that likes to say. So we're going to make the most of this bad boy. And I'm interested to hear people's takes right now, because I am, for the first half of the summer, I was taking Jonathan Taylor in the 101. But for the past few weeks, I've been all Christian McCaffrey. Whenever I land the 101, and hope he falls in the 102, I've just been all in on Christian McCaffrey. So yeah, there we go. Oh, Mike wanted to get in. Mike wanted to get in the chat. I sorry, I didn't speak to the beforehand, but I talked to my producer and he said, "Hey, get the draft filled up before you bring that live on screen." That was a misplay from last week. So Regular says he's going to see Mac in the 101. I think it's just purely a bet on upside, right? It's when Christian McCaffrey is healthy for, call it, I don't know, 14 games maybe. We'll call that a healthy season. There's just no other running back in the league that even comes close to where he's at, as it relates to kind of an upside case there. So the other big thing that's changed recently is Justin Jefferson flipping Cooper Kupp in ADP, which I think is interesting. I know my guy Brian and I have a little bit of a bet here. I've got Kupp at the at the number one receiver. He's got Jefferson. So we need to hone in our bet before the season starts to figure out exactly how we're gonna get that going. But I'm still a Kupp believer. I don't think it was completely a glitch last year. I mean, I see the hype for Jefferson. Obviously, he's a stud, and he's gonna catch a bunch of balls. He's gonna score a bunch of touchdowns. But yeah, I just still think Cooper Kupp is pretty much locked in for, like, I don't know, nine catches a game, 8 catches a game, something like that. He's going to get like 15 targets a game, something crazy. So I just think he's just incredibly consistent last year. I mean, in the playoff run, so he scored like 25 fantasy points a game. And then in the 4 of the playoffs, he like outdid that. And that was in some of the biggest games when the whole defense knew that he was going there. So yeah, Chop says CMC is a scary pick. So I think that's what I'm banking on people thinking, right? I want people to think he's a scary pick, and I want to basically bet on a healthy season for him. And if he's healthy, then he's going to be the far and away running back one, in my opinion. Yeah, Mike brings up, Baker's been best throwing QB the Panthers have ever had. And he's picking up some DJ Moore and some Robbie. Yeah, I've been doing some I love DJ Moore. I've been getting him quite a bit. I was getting Robbie a lot earlier. Jaron said he's getting Robbie too. I was getting Robbie a lot earlier in the summer. I don't know if he's just not really been in the range where I'm picking lately, or if there's other players around him that I like better. But But I don't feel like I've been getting a ton of Robbie. Let's see where he's at here. Where's he now on ADP? He is in the 154 range. So let me drop down there. We got quite a few picks. We're 10 picks away. So 154. Okay, yeah. So he's in this Isaiah McKenzie role, which is getting a lot of steam. He's in the Nico Collins, which I've been taking a lot of. He's now in the Brian Robinson, Isaiah Pacheco, who are getting just totally steamed up the boards. I take a ton of Jamal Williams. I take a ton of Wan'Dale Robinson. So yeah, there's definitely some guys here. Khalil Herbert I like a lot as a late round running back stash. So, and even Michael Carter. I've been taking a lot of Michael Carter lately. I think that's going to be more of a split than people are thinking with Brees Hall. So yeah, that's that makes sense why I haven't been getting a lot of Robbie Anderson recently. A lot of guys I like behind him. Okay, what are we dealing with here? We're coming around the bend here. I will queue up some Panthers though while we're at it, just to try to get a little Baker. Maybe we'll get some Baker action. We can wait quite a bit on him. Terrace Marshall, another sneaky little Panther I've been getting every now and again. We'll queue up the Bucks for some Week 17 correlation if we get it, if we need it. We're not going to stretch. We talked about this last week. We're not going to stretch for Week 17 correlation. But if it falls to us, we're going to snag it. I'm staying far and away from Cameron Brate, Kyle Rudolph, even this Cade Otton guy. I'm just staying away from it. Keyshawn Vaughn is a little interesting one. He's a freebie. And a lot of people are taking Rashad White, about 100 picks earlier. But Keyshawn Vaughn could kind of be that guy early in the season before White gets his legs under him. So we're 3 picks away here. We got the turn. And I don't love Nick Chubb, and I don't love Javonte Williams. So I don't really love Mark Andrews, although I haven't gotten a lot of Mark Andrews lately. And I feel like a lot of people are starting to take Lamar and Bateman kind of at like the 4 or 5 turn, and not a lot of people. Okay, well, we'll stop talking about Andrews. He just got taken. Okay. So we're going to go with my guy T. Higgins here. And then I need the chat to decide on A.J. Brown or Tyreek Hill. So A.J. or Tyreek in the chat. Let's hear it. What are we doing? We got 22 seconds. I'm up for either. I probably have more Tyreek than A.J. But I think I want to get a little bit more A.J. Brown exposure. So, okay, there we go. Hill, we got one of each. We got 2 A.J.s. And that might be all we get from a I know we're on a bit of a delay here, so we're going to take A.J. Brown, and let's see how these came in. Okay, here we go. A.J., we got Hill, we got A.J. A.J., that's 3 to 2, 3 to 3. Mike says reach for Waddle. Skip Hill, reach for Waddle. So we had a 3-3 tie. We're going to go with A.J. Brown. The reason I like A.J. Brown is I love me some Jalen Hurts, and I've been pulling off the Hurts and Devontae Smith. Double bink at the turn there. I think it's usually like the 6-7 turn. But it's been harder to do that lately. These quarterbacks are screaming up the boards. It's just harder to get Hurts and Smith. So you got to either go Brown and Hurts, or you got to go Hurts. The other one I just absolutely love with Hurts is Dallas Goedert, who I think is just going to have an insane season. And somehow he's getting drafted as a tight end 8 way late. So I think he's got top 4, maybe even top 3 tight end potential here. In the first preseason game, Eagles came out. They're supposed to be this great offense flying, great run team. They threw 8 straight times with Jalen Hurts. So I think that was a little bit of a statement. They were making a little bit of a statement there. I don't love Miles Sanders. We're going to skip him. I like Kenny Gainwell. We'll throw him in there. This whole trio of Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal, Jalen Reagor just kind of makes me want to puke. So I'm just going to pass on that whole deal, not queue those guys up. And I'm going to queue up some Saints. Michael Thomas, Olave, Landry. Love Landry. Absolutely love Landry. And a lot of people are doing the Taysom train. I'll throw him in here just for the hell of it, but I don't love it. Taysom does pay off if Taysom pays off if Jameis gets hurt, and now you've got Now you've got a starting quarterback, likely, right? I think he'd still be the backup. I don't know. Maybe they've got another backup. I haven't been hot on the Saints QB room this summer, but if Jameis gets hurt and you've got a tight end Taysom Hill starting at quarterback every week, that's pretty big for your underdog teams. Jack says Hurts Goddard stack is amazing. Yeah. I've been trying to get as much Goddard as possible. Thomas says Sanders with some hammy problems. Gainwell might catch fire. Yeah. I mean, I just not a big Miles Sanders fan ever. He just kind of always he never really seems to I guess outperform his ADP, right? He's kind of always in the mix. He's got a couple big weeks in him. But he's never one of those guys where you're just like juiced to have on your team by the end of the season. So yeah, that's why I've been largely staying away. I like the the potential for Gainwell there in the later rounds. Anytime you can get a double digit round running back who's going to catch a lot of passes, we're looking good there. So yeah, we've got quite a few picks here. We've got one quarterback off the board, Josh Allen. He was paired up with Stephon Diggs. Pretty standard little stack there. And we've got one got Kyle Pitts off the board. And we got Kelsey Andrews. We got 3 tight ends deep. Lamar goes as a quarterback 2. We don't see that a lot. That's kind of man, that is early. Early 4th round is pretty stinking early for Lamar, I feel like. Let's see where we're at on some of these QBs. So we've got Hurts at 62, and I'm 48, 49, and then way past that, right? So this may not work in our favor here. We're gonna either reach on Hurts or we're gonna skip on Hurts. Remember last week when I totally botched the quarterback decision, so I'm trying to prepare myself and not do that again. I like to get the bottom of my like elite quarterback tiers right in this Dak Prescott Matthew Stafford range. For some reason, Stafford just throws a ton of yards, throws a ton of touchdowns, wins a Super Bowl, and people are still like, maybe not, maybe not that good though. So I think he's a little bit undervalued at the QB 12. But I like to always leave the draft with like one of these guys. Ideally, I'm in the like Lance above, maybe the Burrow above range, but I don't hate this gap here to Brady, Prescott, Stafford, Wilson, those guys. But yeah, last week we went with the kind of with a naked Kyler Murray at the last minute, which wasn't great. We ended up pairing him up with AJ Green and Eno Benjamin in the in the late rounds. And I'm not going to say I'm stoked on that. I'm not going to say I'm really juiced to have Kyler Murray and AJ Green as my main correlation. But hey, that's how we do it. That's why we do 150 of these bad boys. You're going to have to get weird every now and again. So we're coming up on it here. I think with Christian McCaffrey, I'm making a bet. Every time you draft him, you just have to assume that he stays healthy, right? So you're betting on his health. And yeah, so we're not really going to take another running back here. I don't feel the need to take Cam Akers or Dobbins. We could snag a little bit of a Mahomes angle here, but probably not. Actually, we got Waller here. I'm going to take some Waller. I like Waller a lot. Oh shit, that thing loaded weird on me. Almost got screwed. So we got Waller. And we could take Mahomes, and then we're going to be in like the 72-ish range, which isn't going to work too well. All right. We're just going to take Jerry Jeudy here. I haven't drafted hardly any Jerry Jeudy. I don't know. I just think I'm a bigger Cortland Sutton fan, but getting a couple picks of value there, 6 or 7 spots past ADP. So we're going to ride it with Jeudy, and that gives us a little bit of optionality here. So we're going to go Raiders. We're going to plug in some Raiders here. Skip Josh Jacobs, never drafted him. We got Waller, so we can go with Carr. I like Zamir White a lot. He's been catching some steam. And then I was huge on Kenyon Drake earlier, but now it seems like it's a little bit of a battle between Kenyon Drake and Amir Abdullah. So I'm going to be kind of looking like an idiot there, I think. So I'm going to just stay away from those guys for now. I know everybody's, leaning into uncertainty and blah blah blah, but I already did that with Kenyon Drake. I'm not gonna get screwed on the other end with. And so then the bring back for the Raiders, we'll stay away from Kittle. He's not going to make it to us. So this is interesting. So I'm going to get the 72-73 pick here when we come back. So pulling off the Trey Lance Brandon Ayuk is just beautiful. So we're going to see if we can make that happen. We'll toss Elijah Mitchell in the deal here. Danny Gray's creeped up a little bit after catching the big touchdown against the Packers this week. I still think Juwan Jennings is going to be the wide receiver 3. Just seeing if there's any headlines on this guy. Danny Gray is probably going to be like, catch his preseason touchdown. No. Okay. I don't know if I really love the wide receiver 3 option in San Francisco. I don't know if there's going to be that much volume to go around, but whatever. That's where we're at. And then we're going to throw up some Broncos here. See if we can get Russell. If we can't get Lance. Love Melvin. I just love taking Melvin over Javonte at that value. Love Alberto. I've been hammering Alberto. Everybody in the world seems to be out on Albert O, and I just keep taking him. I don't know why. Maybe it's stupid, but he's like 6'6" and he's super athletic, so can't beat that. And then we'll see if we got any bringbacks here with Judy. My exposure to Chiefs has been shrinking as the draft season goes on. I love Juju. I've been trying to get some more of him. And other than that, we'll throw Isaiah Pacheco. He's just been getting a ton of steam out of there. So got to have a couple of him before we end the offseason here. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we still are live for a little Trey Lance, Brandon Ayuk action, if that makes it to us. We still got Elijah Mitchell, AJ Dillon. Other running backs here that I'm just completely making me puke is David Montgomery and Josh Jacobs. I'm not in on either of those guys. I'm trying to draft as least of those as possible. Reason being is I'm taking a ton of Zamir White. I'm taking a ton of Kenyon Drake. So that's just kind of an anti, Josh Jacobs stand. And then I have a ton of Khalil Herbert too. So at like the 152nd pick or something. And Khalil Herbert's been getting all the first team. When Montgomery, hasn't been with the first team, I'm not saying Herbert's going to obviously be the starter or anything, but in the preseason game and in the first team reps and Montgomery's out, it's been all Khalil Herbert. So he's kind of a guy like Alexander Madison, where if Montgomery gets hurt or if Montgomery misses some weeks, it's just going to be the Khalil Herbert show, I think. So, so that's why I just love betting on those kind of late round running backs. AJ Dillon is a good example, but now he's going in the freaking 6th round, right? If Aaron Jones gets hurt, it's going to be the AJ Dillon show. Obviously, he's got some more value now as a standalone because he's going to be, catches and passes, probably getting, 10 touches, 12 touches a game. But if Jones gets hurt, then his ceiling is sky high. And so guys like Madison, guys like Khalil Herbert, those are the guys that I want to bet on late. Lance just goes. So there goes that kind of screws up my stack there. We do have Russell, Hustle, and Bustle down here that I can go with to pair up with Judy still. We can still take Ayuk. I do love me some Ayuk. And yeah, Hurts didn't make it to us either. So kind of getting screwed there for sure. We're going to pop off Tom Brady because I missed most of his receivers. All right, here we go. So I think we're going to have some fun here. And we're going to take a little Drake London action. Fresh off preseason knee injury. You got to love those. Those really make you want to reach on rookies. And then I'm just going to snag Wilson and lock in Wilson to go with Judy. Just get a stud quarterback. I don't have a ton of Wilson exposure, so get a little action there. The reason I like Drake is I am, knowing that I'm only about 5 drafts left here, I want to get a little bit of Marcus Mariota going. I want to get some action there. And with with Russell, I'm confident that he's going to be the guy that's scoring points for me pretty much every week. So I don't really need to take another quarterback until I can maybe sneak in Mariota there at the end. All right, we got some time here. Let's see what the chat's at. We'll see what the chat's at. Thomas Welch says we're talking about Andy Dalton here. Here we go. That's okay. There we go. Andy Dalton's the backup to Jameis, so not Taysom Hill. Thanks for that. And Thomas is pumping his $5. So Thomas is thinking Jameis gets hurt. Andy Dalton's all-day debut goes mooning past $5. So that's a contingent bet if I've ever seen one. Artemis says Jalen gets the rushing TDs. Yep, that's why Miles Sanders is a little bit of a scary one. And Shiggins says the Trey Lance hype is crazy. Yeah, I agree with you. Trey Lance has been screaming up, but I think it's for good measure. I think there's some fire where there's the smoke there with Trey Lance. I mean, he was a guy that I drafted just a ton of last season, like a ton of them. And obviously he, threw a couple touchdowns. I think he maybe played one game after the fantasy playoffs were over. So that didn't really pay off for me, but I'm back to the well this year. I'm drafting a ton of them too. I'm just looking. I think he might be one of my higher exposed guys here in Best Ball Mania 2 here. Yeah, so I've got 116 teams registered right now in the exposure. That means I've got quite a few slow drafts still rolling, but Trey Lance is my third highest rostered quarterback. I've got 17% Kyler Murray, 15% Daniel Jones, and 12% Trey Lance. So I like that. I'm happy with that. I will say I got a majority of the Trey Lance in like the 9th, 10th round. I have not been taking him a bunch as he's going here in the 6th, 7th round. I just like a few of the options around him. Unless I can just nail that Trey Lance Ayuk stack. That thing's pretty nice. Welch says, who is drafting Lance over Burrow? Yeah, I mean, Burrow might be kind of in that Stafford camp where they just set the world on fire last year, and then people are like, yeah, maybe he's not that good. Finney liked my Waller pick. And Milo says Khalil Herbert is his AD stack. There we go. I didn't even actually realize Herbert had a moment yet. But that could be big. That could be big if he pops off. Get a little challenge equity out of Khalil Herbert. If David Montgomery goes down, it will be interesting to see if the all-day market reacts to injury news and trade news, stuff like that. Like we don't really see that too much in the NBA, right? We see like when a guy retires, his moment maybe pumps a little bit. Now there's just too many moments of all the guys, so I don't really think that's going to happen anymore. There's a couple instances where his guys retired, or the trade deadline in Series 2 was a little bit fun. There was some action on some moments, but those are always just very short-term pumps, very, very quick ones. But yeah, I mean, I could see a world where David Montgomery goes down and Khalil Herbert goes from $5 to $10 pretty immediately. So yeah, those are kind of some fun bets to think about, I think, as we get closer to the season. I'm still waiting to hear the the full rundown on the roadmap, what they're doing with the rest of these Series 1 moments, all that stuff before I really start digging deep into all day and getting some more fringe bets in there. I'm trying to kind of just stick with kind of top 10 fantasy players right now, which I know is probably a little bit maybe a little bit boring. But I don't know. I just want a couple more questions answered before I go all in. Okay. So I think it's about time that we maybe take another running back here. Let's see. Is there anybody it's worth reaching on? Derek Carr is a no. Tampa Bay, we don't really care about too much anymore. Okay. So we don't really need to do any reaching here. Antonio Gibson is just falling like a rock. This is oh, there he goes. He gets taken. But yeah, he's in like punt protection right now. He fumbled last week. It's just just a tough week for the boys there. So Darren Waller, I got Darren Waller. I don't think I need Goddard. I think I can wait a little bit more on tight end. There's some news about Kenneth Walker having a sports hernia, maybe not being ready for week one or trying to get ready for week one, stuff like that. Hernia scare me a little bit. It could be kind of a quad thing, which is actually what Penny had, which is kind of funny. So I'm not going to say Penny's the epitome of health, but if Walker's out there, then Penny's a little bit undervalued. And we're going to go with a little James Cook here. Feels like a little bit of a stretch, but some pass catching upside here. We've got a little correlation with T. Higgins, Week 17 Bills, Bengals. I like that angle. Hopefully, again, like I've got Christian McCaffrey, right? So he's going to be a starting running back from every week that on this team. So I don't really need like a ton of running back depth, right? I mean, especially if Walker gets hurt a little bit, right? Penny's going to get a couple hot weeks for me at the beginning of the season. So I'm okay making a bet on a guy like James Cook, who maybe is not going to hit pay dirt until, after the bye week, right? Or later in the season. But if he does make a dent in this offense and the wheels are turning and he is this team gets me through the playoffs, there's a world where week 17 James Cook catches, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 balls, maybe a touchdown in the high scoring shootout with the Bengals. So don't hate that at the end of the ninth. So we're feeling pretty strong about our wide receiver group. We got Higgins, AJ Brown, Judy, and Drake London. I really like Drake London, even though he's got a little bit of a knee scare. Didn't seem like too big of a deal there. We like Wilson, and we've really got a lot of these later round QBs that we're set up for here with Jameis, Baker, Mariota. Wow, Jameis is actually creeping up a little bit. He used to go quite a bit later. So I'm not in a big rush there. I like Waller, so I don't think I need to reach for a tight end anytime soon. So I think we're just going to kind of keep hammering wide receiver and running back value here as it falls to us. Let's see if there's any sneaky little correlation we can make happen. Queued up Saints already for Philly. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot that we're reaching on here. What do we got going on for Broncos? Who can I try to get paired up with Russ here? Melvin's probably not going to make it back to us. 120, 121. Probably a little early for Albert O. Then I'm going to be I'm really bad at math on these. I'm figuring out exactly what my pick number is going to be. Then 144, 145 range. So that could be KJ Hamler range. Finish off the double stack with Russ. Okay, so that's probably what we're doing there. How are the Chiefs looking? We don't. All my Chiefs are gone, right? So we lost out on some Week 17 correlation there, unless we grab Isaiah Pacheco, who we could do that with KJ Hamler. Take a little early stand on both of those guys. All right. We're just gonna buy. We're gonna buy into a lot of the hype right now here if a guy falls to us, because my guy George Pickens is just all the rage right now. And I remember watching this dude for like a game or two at Georgia a couple years ago, and he was like the best player in America for a couple game stretch. And then I think he got in a fight. And then obviously he had the knee injury and his value kind of tapered off there. Why did I have Tampa Bay queued up? Oh, Carolina. I'm not a big Rachaad White fan. I'd rather go Madison or Hines. And I'm probably gonna go Hines here. Because screw it, whatever. If you're making a bet on McCaffrey, that means there's no teams out there that have Jonathan Taylor and McCaffrey, right? So if Taylor gets hurt and then I have McCaffrey and Hines, the Taylor backup. And that's a nice little leverage play there. So I like that. These two guys, Spiller and White, are interesting. I've been I always kind of queue them up and then I always kind of dance around them and I just go to Madison or Hines. I just like this who I know are going to be bell cows if the guy in front of them gets hurt. So there we go. Regular says, how many all-day moments do you have? I think I'm in the 85, 88 range, something like that, after getting a couple packs last week. So I went on a cruise last weekend. This is a good story. I went on a cruise to Mexico, the little weekend trip out of Long Beach here. We didn't port in Ensenada, which we were supposed to. There's some cartel action going on, so we didn't actually get off the boat. It's not the greatest news for the livers, but we made it through. We got the full value out of the drink package this weekend on the cruise. But it's like this weird. I think they have like just Wi-Fi scramblers on these boats. As soon as you get on, it's just hell trying to find any sort of signal anywhere. And I don't know if that's because it's this big floating steel signal in there, or maybe you're off the coast and you're not in like America anymore or whatever. But anyways, I was in the queue initially, right? And we're already late for the cruise. We're really late for the cruise. We're like gonna be like running onto this damn thing. I got off work a little bit late, and so in the hubbub of getting bags checked in, getting onto the boat, figuring out where the hell we're going in this on this huge ship, I inevitably missed the first go around of the queue, right? So then I'm like, I'm in random hallways looking for signal, and my wife's like, "What the hell are you doing? Let's go to the pool." And I'm like, "No, I got to get a Lamar Jackson all-day debut." So I got back in the queue. I just see all these packs are still available. This is like 2 or 3 hours after. I'm like, "What's going on?" So I get back in the queue. And then I realized that you can only get one pack at a time. They maxed you out at 2. So I bought like both on my packs, like probably 3 or 4 hours after the queue started. And couldn't do the opening thing. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't load. It took forever to load. Couldn't pick, like, then once they opened, landed in my account, I couldn't figure out what the hell I even just opened up. So kind of last minute saw that I got the Lamar all-day debut and I got the Fields and back-to-back packs there. So I think those are the best 2 commons, and I'm pretty juiced on that. So yeah, there's my John Boy gets on a cruise and enters the NFL all-day queue story. Hope you enjoyed that one. Let's see. Milo says best tight end 2, Ingram, Kmet, or Brate. Well, ADP says Kmet because he's going as like the tight end 11 or 12, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't mind Evan Ingram there. I just think the Bears are kind of going to suck this year, so I'm not really loving making bets on the Bears. And I think Evan Ingram at his cost is a little bit better bet, I think. But all those guys kind of suck. I would rather not have any of them as my tight end 2, to be honest. Okay, here we go. We're back. We're feeling pretty good about our running back room here. And I think there's a little group of tight ends here that we want to try to get some action on. So let's see. We still got Alexander Madison. He's fallen a little bit. I wonder, is there any break his light work and fill in start 3 days ago? Fourth year back, reliable fantasy asset. Yeah, nothing really there that's making me pause. Okay, so we're gonna get a tight end. We got Waller with a 6 bye. We got Freiermuth and Smith here. I already got Pickens. Do I want Pickens and Freiermuth? That's kind of a decision point to make, right? We'll go Smith. We'll get some action on the Vikes. So now we got 2 tight ends there. I think I'm probably going to stop at tight end. I like Michael Carter. I like Khalil Herbert. Those could be my 4th or that could be my 5th running back, and then I stop there. I don't have a lot of Russell Wilson, though. So when I take Russell Wilson, I want to try to get him doubled up here. So that doesn't feel like a big reach to me. On paper it says it's a 7-pick reach, but I mean, if you just kind of look at this range, it's not a huge reach, in my opinion. So yeah, we got Judy, we got Hamler with Russell Wilson. We don't have any Week 7 bringbacks for KC, which is a little bit bummer. Isaiah Pacheco's not going to make it to us. So yeah, we're feeling good. We're feeling good. We've got a pretty strong wide receiver room right now. I think got a couple rookies. Got AJ Brown, T Higgins. We're really hoping those guys blow up. And we've got some fun running back situations, right? If Kenneth Walker is slow out of the gates, or maybe gives Rashad Penny a chance to really shine, him paired up with McCaffrey could be a pretty strong 1-2 punch for the first few weeks. And then we've got some upside here with Hines. I mean, the coach of the Colts is saying, hey, you should draft Nyheim Hines on your fantasy team. I mean, I don't need to hear much more than that to get him on fantasy teams, right? Brian Robinson goes. It's I think it's time to pump Mike's Robinson backs. Yeah, look, he was asking for it. Brian Robinson goes in the 13th round here. The guy's screaming up draft boards. Mike sends me a screenshot yesterday with like freaking, I don't know, 35% Robinson. Let's pull this up. Let's pull up the official screenshot here. Yeah, 35% Brian Robinson. So bravo to you, Mr. Zakarian. That's a good read. I of course went the wrong way there. I have a way more McKissick than I do Robinson, but yeah. Shiggin says, why is nobody excited about Freiermuth? He was rookie last year, put up great numbers when he started getting playing time, high draft pick, seems like decent upside. I'll tell you this, Shiggins, I am all aboard the Pat Freiermuth train. He is my 6th highest owned tight end in Best Ball Mania drafts. I love him. And I agree with you. He's a touchdown machine. So I like it. I like that pick a lot. The reason I didn't take him there is just because I reached on George Pickens. Or I didn't reach. I mean, I took Pickens there in the whatever round that was, 10th round or something. And, the Steelers offense is going to be kind of hairy, right? I mean, there's seemingly a decent amount of good players on this offense, right? Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, Pickens, Freiermuth, Chase Claypool still. So a lot of studs, a lot of talent. Big question mark at QB, right? Trubisky or Pickett. What's going to go on there? And I'm just not sure the team's going to be that great. And so when a team's not that great, I just don't want to have a bunch of bets on that offense on my roster. So, but yeah, I like Freiermuth. I've been taking plenty of Freiermuth. All right, Thomas Welch is trying to change up the conversation here. Talking a little bit about the Qs. Part of me likes the Qs over the RSVP. Weeds out the week, getting everything during random moments in life. Last weekend he got a pack during a wedding rehearsal. So, yeah, I mean the Qs are good. I think the RSVP is interesting. I personally love the RSVP option where you can just say take my money when my time gets up in the queue or whatever. I didn't make the stress test yesterday. I was pretty busy at work, but I like the RSVP option. Doesn't make you really have to think about it, but yeah, I get your point. Maybe more maybe there's less pack opportunities now if more people can just RSVP, and it does allow the week, as you would say, to get some packs. So we can't be letting the week get packs. All right, so let's see. We're up into 4 picks here. We need to start ramping up our wide receiver room a little bit here, I think. But I just hate all these wide receivers right here. Yeah, Van Jefferson out on. Paris Campbell out on. Marvin Jones, I don't mind. And I actually love Jamison Williams. He's hurt. He's going to miss the first. Let's see, what does this say anything? At least a game or two. Blah blah blah. I think they're going to be cautious with him. I think he's going to miss maybe 4 to 6 games. Um, and who knows if the freaking Lions are getting a lot of hype. Who knows if they're even going to be good? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a little. We're going to. Okay, who else we got a running back here? We got Zamir White. After that, I just hate everybody else too. So, okay, we're going to take Zamir White and we're going to stop at running back. And then let's see. How strong are we here in the early seasons? AJ Brown, Judy. I think like most of these guys, I think it seems like even Drake London and Pickens are going to be getting some targets right out of the gates here. So I think I can make some bets here on a guy like Williams, who's maybe not going to do anything for me the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season, but is going to maybe give me some upside once the playoff time comes around. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that. You know, if you have a guy like maybe Chris Godwin early, who else off the top of my head is going to be kind of out or questionable for the first couple weeks. Can't really think right now. But if you're making some bets on higher round draft picks who are going to be a couple, you know, have a couple weeks on the bench, you're going to come out of the gates a little bit slow, coming off fresh off an injury. I don't think you want to also make late round bets on those same kind of guys like a Jameson Williams. But for me, I mean, Higgins, Brown, Judy, those are 3 studs that are all going to be healthy week 1, right? And then the way that it seems like training camp's going for London, I mean, there's just not another guy with a pulse on the Falcons besides Kyle Pitts who's going to be catching balls. So as long as London's knee injury isn't too crazy, he's going to be catching passes week 1. And then, I mean, geez, George Pickens is like the darling player for everyone now. He like wasn't even getting drafted. Now he's going in the 10th round. So he seems like he's going to have a role week 1. So I've got 5 wide receivers that are probably going to have a role. KJ Hamler's going to have a role. Darren Waller's going to have a role. Running backs, not so much, but I'm hoping to just kind of get carried by the receivers here for the first few weeks. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there. Let's just rattle off some takes here on some of these guys. Late round running backs. I know it's an interesting spot here that people try to capitalize on, try to get an edge on waiting on running back, right? So I would say that waiting on running back this far is a little bit scary for me. I don't love getting into this range. Ronald Jones, you know, may or may not make the team. This guy has just been a roller coaster all summer. He was up in the 130s. Now he's down in the 170s. You know, there's just been conflicting reports on the Chiefs backfield all summer. Marlon Mack, I love Dameon Pierce. I've been taking a lot of him lately. He got some good action in the preseason game. And then I just don't think Marlon Mack's going to have a great role. I mean, he's probably going to start the season, maybe in weeks 1 or 2, but I think Pierce is going to take over pretty quickly. And then Rex Burkhead's going to be the guy that catches passes, I think. So yeah, just not a huge Marlon Mack guy there. Darrell Williams, kind of a toss-up between him and Eno Benjamin. So kind of conflicting reports on both of those guys, trying to figure out what's going on there behind James Conner. Gus Edwards is looking like he's going to be, he's a long shot to be ready for week 1. We don't know how bad that knee injury is. So don't love that one. Dearness Johnson's the kind of locked in running back 3, needs kind of 2 guys to get hurt ahead of him, which we did see last year for a couple weeks, but really needs 2 guys to get hurt to make a splash, or he needs to get traded somewhere that doesn't have a good running back room. Trey Sermon's been getting a little bit of a buzz here. I got just absolutely murdered on Trey Sermon. He was, I think, in week 1. I forget who it was. I forget if it was Sermon. I forget who the buzz was on, but I think in week 1 last year, there was a late report right before lock for DFS. Is all of a sudden it was not going to be Mostert. It was going to be Sermon or something like that. And then it was Elijah Mitchell or whatever. I forget what it was. I just remember I played a bunch of Sermon and I got absolutely murdered. Jerick McKinnon is seeming like he's losing some steam to Isaiah Pacheco. I was taking a lot of McKinnon before this Pacheco guy was anything, and now I'm just kind of staying away from everything there. And then Mark Ingram was a popular pick. I was leaning into him a little bit at the beginning of the the summer when it looked like Kamara was going to get suspended, but now it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Kamara's got a pretty clear path to play most of 2022 here. So yeah, that's my take on those last few running backs. Not a huge fan there. All right. Everybody's falling asleep by the time we get to these later rounds. Everybody's like in the stream, just take whoever the hell you want. We don't care. Quarterbacks, we got Baker and we got Mariota. I have 2 picks left. One of them in the last pick of the draft, so I'm probably going to snag Mariota here in the 17th round. So that means we want to grab a receiver. And I actually like a decent amount of these guys. I like Fuller. I like Donovan Peoples-Jones. I like Odell. Odell and Fuller are just kind of bets that they either land on a team that needs a receiver or come back healthy or earlier than normal or whatever. But yeah, I think I don't mind either of these guys. See if there's any action. Yeah, he's drawing interest. He's been drawing interest like all summer, so I don't really. It's a tough one. I was gonna take Donovan Peoples-Jones just because he's a kind of a locked-in wide receiver 2 there. So we'll snag Mariota. We'll get that one done with. So that's our second quarterback. It feels a little light, but if we're making a pretty big bet here on the Broncos offense with Judy and Hamler and Wilson. So I'm okay just keeping that bet heavy on Russ and just hoping Mariota beats him out for a couple weeks. And then we got to make a decision here at receiver. And we'll just throw in a Will Fuller dart. I feel like I haven't taken a lot of Fuller. He probably signs with somebody at some point. Who knows if it's going to be worth anything, but round 17, you don't need a whole lot. You just need a spike week or 2 to really pay off there. And now we are 21 picks away from the last pick of the draft. Love to hear you guys' take on the teams here. Let's spend some time. We did this at the end last week. Let's spend some time going through it today, seeing if there's anybody that's got some crazy correlation or some crazy super teams built. Player Q, I think that guy is a popular DFS guy. I forget exactly who he is on Twitter, but one of the sharper guys. Juju's got Juju, Patrick Mahomes, and he's got Tua and Tyreek. So he's got and Jasecki. So he's got a couple good stacks there. Let's see if there's any just completely dead teams in here. You can kind of tell off the bat if there's just some dead teams, right? If there's anybody that went like 4 running backs early. Phil 5 went pretty deep here. Najee, Saquon, Connor. Didn't pair Hurts up with anybody. Didn't pair Rodgers up with anybody. Yeah, interesting. So that one seems not the greatest team. He's got A-Rob, Thielen, and Renfro as his top 3 receivers. Don't love that one. Constant color up. He got Brady and Godwin and DJ Moore with a little bring back there. Okay, so that's a nice one. Let's see. Smash Ass. Surprised they let that name happen. Smash Ass does not have a. Oh, he does. Here we go. We went 2 back-to-back late round quarterbacks. 3 of them. He's got Daniel Jones also. So doesn't look like he got a ton of correlation there, and he went pretty strong on receiver, and then he just stopped. Interesting. So I don't love Smash Ass's team, but that's all right. To each their own. Herbert, Mike Williams, it's a popular one. Burrow, do you get anybody? Yeah, he's got Chase. So Bluska set himself up well. So the pretty sharp draft here. Doesn't look like anybody completely torpedoed their squads, which is a bummer. You always like to have one guy in there that's taking like 7 RBs off the jump or something to give you a little freebie there. Give you a little free EV, as the kids are calling it, All right, so what do we want here in the last round? We're going to take a wide receiver, a tight end. I hate all these tight ends, so we're not going to take a tight end. Oh, Cedric Wilson. I love Cedric Wilson late round. I don't mind Terrace Marshall at all. I don't mind tossing Brian Edwards in here, even though I think he's kind of trash. But since we got Mariota, Kyle Phillips has been making some noise out of Tennessee, so I don't hate that. Jonathan Taylor said Ashton Doolin is a name to keep your eyes on. James Proche should be the wide receiver 2 in Baltimore. Okay, I don't need to queue up this many guys. We got we're 3 picks away. I think I'm just going to take Cedric Wilson if he falls to me. I think the Dolphins are going to be pretty good. And he's going to be the wide receiver 3 on that team. And got some upside if Waddler Hill gets hurt. So, like that. Either him or Brian Edwards. Brian Edwards with Mariota. I don't know if Brian Edwards is trash. I think Cedric Wilson's decent, so I'll just take Wilson. That is a wrap, folks. All right. Well, cheers, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I think that was a fun one. We got to talk a little NFL all day. Got to rip another Underdog draft. If you are new in the Underdog streets, make sure to sign up promo code JBB. Get in the Pomeranian this morning. Let's see how full this thing is right now. Oh yeah, we are up to 92% full. So that thing is going to be filled in the next hour or two. So get in there if you haven't already. Do some super draft a couple quarterbacks early. Draft a couple more running backs than wide receivers in super draft. But cheers, guys. Thanks for joining in. I know once Zakarian gets back from his honeymoon extravaganza, we're going to start ramping up the fantasy football talk. Probably doing it on Wednesday nights on this channel. We're probably not going to be doing a ton of best ball by the time everything shakes out. Best ball season is going to be kind of over, but we're going to be talking a lot of fantasy football. And we're going to be doing stuff on Sunday mornings as well. So that's the big one I'm excited for. Sunday mornings, probably about maybe 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 Eastern, right within that last hour, the magic hour right before lock for NFL games, where we're trying to make sense of all the news. We're trying to look through our DraftKings lineups, our FanDuel, our OTM Rumble. We're trying to look through TOC. We're going through it all. We're trying to get everything figured out last minute. We're going to be there for you guys. We're going to be dropping the knowledge and trying to make some good decisions. So super excited about that one on Sunday mornings as well. But thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in, hanging out. I think I'm the only one doing this, but we're going to roll the credits, baby.